Is Aceable the right thing for you to talk to your friends about who want to get into real estate and point your new agents in that direction? Today we find out from an agent going through it right now. Here we go. Bart, what's going on, man?
I am so happy to be here. We're having too much fun before we even get started.
Well, we had to have some fun because your typical wonderful, which is what you almost always say when I ask you how you're doing.
It's my default stupid comment.
Did not come out today. So maybe not so wonderful today, but fired up to be here.
Every day's different.
Restructure.
Yep. Ready to have some fun.
Yep.
Got a great guest.
Yep. Dream it, build it, work it, grow it.
That's right.
That's what we do on Restructure.
What are we learning about today?
Well, we are learning about Aceable. And for those of you in Texas, Aceable probably makes you think of driver's ed because it's been the, kind of for high school students recently, it's been the numero uno way to do it. I had some of the stats pulled up. I'll pull them up later after we get to talking to, what are we calling our guest?
GA
for general agent.
Generic agent. It works too.
Okay.
But I like yours. Yours is better.
Yeah. It's like G.I. Joe.
That's right.
Except she's G.A. Joe.
So moving on. I purposefully did not do any research whatsoever on Aceable, so he can enlighten me, just like our listeners potentially.
I did some because I've been talking to him, and he's likely to join our team. I don't know, maybe after this show it's totally different. He's got his thumb out in the wind.
I think it's not looking good so far, but let's save it.
Okay. All right, G.A., why don't you say hi?
Hi, everybody.
Dude, again.
Thought my mic was still off.
No, your mic's still on, and Bart and I really just
have
terrible voices.
Yeah, and the choices we make for guests are always really great sounding.
They are. We have to have guests so people will listen.
So GA.
Yep.
First of all, I'm curious, what got you even wondering, like Googling getting a license? Like, I don't know if it's pertinent what you're doing now outside before, but you're welcome to share it if you want. But if not, whatever you did, sales or whatever industry, but what got you to look at getting a license?
Currently in the sales industry, and we'll track this throughout, I suppose, but overworked, not underpaid per se. A lot of people say overworked, underpaid, all that good stuff, but it's been a great industry to be in for me. But I just said, look, I have a ceiling to my income, and I'd like to go higher. And how do I do that? How do I work for myself? Always had an entrepreneurial spirit, but never really took the risk. Then I met people like Aaron here, who just said, man, you got to go for it, right? And at any rate,
encouragers. Yes,
one thing I knew, exactly. One thing I knew was that I was not going to be able to get my education out of the way, get into real estate full-time initially. I needed to get the education out of the way part-time. And that's one thing that Aceable really opens up the door for, is being able to part-time, whether you're getting, you're waiting for 10 minutes before you get your hair cut, 30 minutes while you get your oil changed, whatever it is, you can pull out your phone, which everybody's on their phone all the time now. I travel a lot for work so I get Wi-Fi on the plane. I can access Aceable all through the phone. I haven't even logged on the laptop once, except when I did the original enrollment.
That's crazy.
On the website. And I don't even know if you'd do that, because you can do that obviously on your browser on your phone. Yeah. So that it really is, again, the main reason though was to obviously open up the door for another stream of income, initially part-time, but then in talking with you guys, it's going to be a full-time deal once I get the education out of the way and all that good stuff. So
that is cool.
Absolutely.
And it kind of speaks to the way the world works today. We do a lot of stuff on our shows about kind of the newest, greatest thing, if it improves or pushes the needle forward on what we're using on whatever topic it is. So I think this is a perfect topic on new agent training and continuing education. Or
Yeah, I mean, it's a big deal because if you're going to be building your team, of course, we all want that incredible agent that's at someone else's office that, for whatever reason, gets crossways and looks for a new place to go. That's awesome when that happens. But for the most part, there's a lot of new agents joining the ranks every year, especially here in Dallas, and we want to know that we can get them onboarded quickly. And I guess I don't know if I want to say it this way, maybe lazy. Like I don't want to have them come into the office every day while they're training.
No.
To get their license. It's not
the way the world works anymore.
No, it's what I did when I got my Series 7 back in the day, 20 years ago. I'd sit in the office and then take phone calls, desk time, just to help around the office, load paper in the copier. But I mean, we don't even use paper anymore.
Digital.
It's all digital. I was a gopher.
So digital solution for agent training or getting your license. Did you look at other options before you jumped into Aceable?
I did. The reviews for Aceable were astounding. Third-party reviews.
They're incredible. I just pulled them up right now. Do you want to hear where they're at?
I do.
A lot of these reviews. There's 439 reviews on Trustpilot, and there are 90% excellent and 10% great. That's 440 people, roughly, that have logged in, and none of them have said it's average, poor, or bad.
Correct.
Wow.
I mean, that's incredible.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like our reviews.
It does. It does, except we've only got 4.39 reviews.
GA just spit his water out. That's the show you're on today, baby. Amazing reviews.
I'm taking a sip when you said it.
Yeah. Easy to use. Ace is awesome. I use this program. Appreciate. I guess there's a bit of humor in there, according to this one.
There is, which I was going to hopefully bring to you guys, except I'm not very humorous like Bart.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Moving on. We're not going to sit there and sulk in that. So, you know what? I'm going to draw a correlation here on.
Please.
And I'm not like new agent, somebody that maybe is not coming from another workforce necessarily. Maybe it's. I really want to hone in on like a second career that really maybe a demographic maybe is you're successful where you're at. You've been doing it for how long?
14 years.
Pretty long darn time. And so that's the kind of track record that you would imagine you're going to see success in real estate. I mean, it's nothing complicated about selling a house. Running your own business, you get to call all the shots, and you're obviously successful at whatever culture and implementation the company you're already at has. So if you're loving this, that's pretty high praise. It's like it's fitting into what you want to do to go be successful in real estate and training you on how to actually just do it. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing I'll say is that thank you for the praise. I appreciate it.
Yes. We want you to come back.
We're having you back.
But at any rate, coming from a professional sales organization currently and industry where everybody does wear that professional face pretty well, and real estate, is an industry that you need to appear professional. You obviously handle yourself professionally. One of the things that I'm learning about on Aceable, which goes into great detail, which is great, in that how do you process your paperwork? How do you, stay within the confines of the law, what the law says you can and cannot do, professional ethics, etc. Aceable covers all that in amazing detail, except it doesn't make it boring. And that's what's so cool about it, is that so much of this information can be a drag. Mm-hmm. But Aceable adds humor, like they were saying, to everything. Makes it easy to understand for someone that's coming completely outside the industry. Mm-hmm. Has nothing. I have no knowledge of real estate other than the little I've learned from realtors while going through, buying my own house or selling my own house, whatever it was.
Realtors. Don't you do that again.
Realtors.
Sorry, we all have fun with that word.
We do. We love it.
Realtors.
Realtors.
Yeah, realtors. At any rate,
sorry, I didn't.
No, it's okay.
I
It's fine.
apologize.
That was Bart's funny, and so you're somehow below that bar. I'm sorry.
I am.
Thank you. Perfect timing.
Right. So I don't even know where I was, but that's fine. So it's all good.
They make
But
it fun.
They make it fun and exciting.
Boring stuff. They're make it engaging.
That's right.
That's awesome.
We should try that.
Only one way to go.
Show. I will
What was
say,
the question? No, I'm just
I'm
kidding.
looking through some of the. So they do have CE courses. Actually, they have funny names for all of them, except for the mandatory legal update classes. And so you're going through here. It's like, so you think you can finance? Nice to tweet you a beginner's guide to social media marketing, and then legal update 2, 18 and 19.
Straight face.
I mean, I'm assuming that name has to be in there for some licensing purposes.
Leave it to the attorney.
This house was made for you and me, a guide to fair housing. I mean, this is a well-designed website. This is better than what I went through, and we don't throw anybody under the bus, but I would go back and do Aceable if this existed.
Can I just go ahead and clarify? We have no connection whatsoever to Aceable. This is purely on, our knowledge from our guest.
Yeah.
GA.
Yes. I've talked to him about it more than Bart has. But yeah, it just sounded so good. I thought, hey, if new agents fall into listening to the show on it, and tell them how it's going. So how many you started, I guess just use months because it's not like this show's not going to be dated. So you've been working on it for how many months?
A little under 2 months.
Okay.
And just FYI, I'm slow.
Okay.
I work currently, and this is one of the reasons why I want to leave my current industry, 65 hours a week. I have travel as well. So a lot of that is nights in hotels, etc. You ball that up, it's about 60, 65 hours a week. And so I have a pretty demanding work schedule, and at the end, when I'm open my free time, I'm dead beat, right? I'm tired. So sometimes I don't get sessions in or whatnot. Whereas somebody that has more of a 40-hour work week, or maybe is working part-time currently and just wants to bolster their income, whatever the reason is for getting into real estate, you can blow through it much quicker.
Gotcha. So how many hours do you think you have put into it in 2 months?
80 hours. Probably less.
80 hours. Okay, so 10 hours a week.
Yeah, roughly on average, yep.
Okay, well, so 10 hours a week has gotten you, it does not give you a percentage. I was asking you about that earlier. It doesn't show you a percentage of completion.
Yeah, it shows you a percentage of completion through each course, not the total course. If you divide that out proportionally, I suppose you could do that.
If you just look at the classes you have not completed.
Right, then you can get done with about 20% of it in about 80 or so hours. I was joking with Aaron the other day because you can tell I'm slow because they do have a tracking bar at the top of each screen because it does meet the, law requirements of how long you have to be present in your course or whatnot. So they have a tracking bar. I don't see that tracking bar anymore because I think I've gotten so far behind that the tracking bar is, in terms of how many hours you actually have to put into place, obviously, to have your license.
GA has taken the time.
Right. Yep.
Move on, GA.
Yep. So it's great, though.
When you signed up, some of these courses will actually include the cost of your state exam in it. Do you remember if they offered that package?
I don't think they have, and I could be wrong, but I don't think they have the cost included. However, they will refund your entire course if you do not pass the exam.
Wow. And can you revisit some of the course materials?
Absolutely.
To prepare?
They have study guides. They have practice tests. They have, countless opportunities for you to prepare, glossary terms, pertinent terms, whatever it is. Then they have practice tests on top of that actually go through, the format that you're going to be asked on the test. And
that's cool.
Yeah, a lot of preparation. So I'm sure there's an asterisk by that refund. So I encourage everybody to look at it. But I do know that it says that on their website. And that was one of the reasons why actually it was a money back guarantee type thing.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do you mind saying how much the course cost?
Yeah, so I actually had a coupon code.
Okay, I saw that one.
That got me under $400.
Okay, yeah. For all of this is Texas, so for those of you out there, Aceable may be coming to your state. It's definitely in Texas, and so $400, and that's all the required
Assuming you have college credits, I'm sure, on certain topics.
As a agent for a broker, you would have to have college credits that would go into that. But as an agent, it's the 6 courses.
Yep.
It's changed.
It has changed. Yeah. Well, when you got yours, though, there was no waiting time to be a broker.
You could have to have college credit even as an agent.
Really?
For certain finance courses.
I guess Trek decided college just does not matter.
Pretty much.
Not for agents, I guess.
So the bar raised for being a broker and it reduced for being an agent.
That's right.
That's what it sounds like.
So.
Okay. When do you think you're going to complete the coursework based on, because they did not really offer you you're on pace, your current pace sets you up to complete in 3 months from now.
Yeah.
What is your personal thought? I know you have some goals, but.
Right, absolutely. I would say an aggressive goal is by the end of November, which would basically put me at 5 months.
Okay.
January, February, probably more realistic. So there are ways, much more expensive options out there in the market, especially if you can take the education full time. You can be done in 6 weeks, right? However, full-time classroom, 4 times the cost, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't have that opportunity. So to get done in what some people could do in 4 months, 6 months, probably take me 8 months just because of the workload I have currently in my full-time job.
Yeah. I mean, you got
Hopefully
kids.
it doesn't say anything about my intelligence level. And I have 3 little beautiful children.
Yeah.
That take a
you
lot
got
of time.
family, and do you have thoughts on where he's at in his Aceable journey?
No, honestly, it's pretty neat. And I'm trying not to confuse. I don't want to leave anybody out. Agents listening to this or people thinking about it. From new agents, a lot of people might assume it's new agents. That's kind of why I pointed out that he's in another profession that wanted to change and was attracted to real estate for all the reasons he kind of went over. But it really would apply to new agents, and it just feels like it's kind of at the forefront of what's available to get your license, and maybe prepare you a little better for the way the world works than some of the other options available out there.
Yeah. Well, one of the things we were talking about before the show, and GA, maybe you can talk to us about this, is do you feel like the pattern that you're seeing with your studying is setting you up for a period of being a part-time agent? Like as far as time blocking and looking at your current schedule, was ultimately your goal, maybe, if this becomes a passion of yours, to step out. But you were talking about initially starting as a part-time agent.
Right. Yeah. And that's more of a personal choice, call it first part of next year, before I'm able to walk away full time.
Yeah.
But absolutely, because you can compartmentalize your studying and, block out, a certain amount of time a week, like you asked the question about how much, on average you work a week. So if you're okay with that, then, and have the ability to, obviously be a real estate agent, you don't have a travel schedule, this and that, then absolutely, you could manage that. And then for agents that want to get started right away and, can work on, whether it's the app or the computer, on a tablet, it's across all devices, Android, Apple, it doesn't matter, which is great. So that the tools are there to do that. I don't know why you couldn't get done in that 180-hour requirement, which is what the state requires here in Texas. 6 courses, and all that. But anyway, whatever your state requires, there's no reason why, if you can go full bore, you can get done just as fast as you can any other way.
Yeah, so just create your own classroom environment.
That's right.
Well, what has there been anything that's been a challenge for Aceable that you feel like maybe if it was done a different way would have been better? And it could be personal or it could be Aceable related.
I would say that, would all of us have gotten, anybody that goes to college, would anybody get their college education if they didn't go to the classroom? If they did, obviously a lot of people do it online, but there's a lot of structure there, and you have, conferencing in webcams, you actually have professors doing that, on camera, online, however that works, whatever it is. There's a lot of internet, college-based now, on the internet rather. Myself, a classroom environment, could you get it done faster? Would it keep you on target? Well, sure, because life gets in the way, right?
Yeah.
Touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, what happened?
Right. But you're actually pointing out a few good things in terms of breaking it down per week and things like this. Have it scheduled out. Have a routine, just as if you would anything else, and you'll get through. But what Aceable does for you for sure, that from feedback from you, Aaron, and other reviews that I've read online prior to starting with Aceable, is that it makes it a lot less boring. It makes it more palatable. It keeps you on track. It really encourages you. It's funny. It's just much different than what's been out there previously.
I feel like when you talk to agents that go through that, the retention of what the information is so low.
Oh my gosh!
Anything that can make it connect a few synapses in their brain to
and we're part.
around.
I mean, we're part of that too, and we're part of that problem too, right? I mean, if somebody says, "Hey, I'm halfway through my courses and I can't remember, riparian rights and all that stuff," and you just, I don't know. Well, I think you and I tell them the same thing. Like, just get through the hours, and then you're going to do your test prep, and then you're going to have you better join with a group of people that can help you work on anything like that when that happens.
Yeah.
Because no one has all that memorized.
No, and you're going to forget it because you're not going to, unless you live on a lake, you're not going to remember all those types of rights.
Those rights, yeah, the oil and gas rights. I mean,
you'll have specialty niches that you kind of want to focus on, or your market, your location requires, and those are where you learn the daily skills.
Yeah, townships. I mean, when I was up in Idaho looking, it's like, oh yeah, I do remember. I remember seeing the maps of Idaho with the squares on it,
yeah,
and all that. I mean, that's not something you have to remember. But I mean, I'm looking at this Aceable setup here, and when you showed me on your phone, it was. I don't know how many of you out there use a Runkeeper type app, but I haven't been using it lately to use it more. But it will. If I'm behind, if I set a goal in there, then it kind of keeps up, and I can log in and see, I didn't run for a week, and so the line is straight and falling further away from the angled up goal. And whenever I'm on a good week, it catches up and gets above it, and it'll send me messages, hey, you're behind, you need to catch up, you need to run today. And so I thought, man, Aceable stuff is set up so much like that. Mm-hmm. How cool would that be if you're having a tough week or whatever, you're busy, and it would just a little jab to say, hey, I'm still here, you paid for me,
finish it up. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you can check your progress report. They've got one of those, and it just takes the initiative, obviously, to check in on it, like you're saying, and do that. So that's the one thing, if Aceable's listening, hey, put a reminder deal out there, but I haven't seen an opportunity, but yeah, to your point, you can check in and see where you're at. Okay, if I want to be done by this month,
this is what I need to do.
This is what I need to do, and get your behind in gear.
Yeah,
I like it. I mean, this is really cool. I don't know what states are they in. This is definitely on Texas Realtor, and then when GA logs in, he's all Texas because it recognizes him.
Right. Yeah, see if you can pull it up. But what I was going to say, too, about Texas and what the Trek website says is that Aceable has one of the it is the highest passing rate for an online course of anything available on the internet.
That's pretty impressive.
Above 80%, which I'm told, again, new to the industry, that the passing rate is much lower than that, at least here in Texas.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, I don't know who we're talking about here, not me for sure, but may pass, one section, national section, or maybe vice versa, and have to go back for one or the other second time. That's
one cool thing is that, you can log into your progress report, and Aceable says, hey, you should go back and review this section. It has a little lightning bolt that says, this is probably something you should review, which is
red
awesome.
Flag.
Yep.
You were asleep.
Yes.
Did not meet expectations.
You were doing your day job when this was running.
Right.
Yeah. Now, I could be wrong in what I'm looking at here, but I was able to kind of refresh the site, and it looks like getting my license in Michigan, New York, and Texas. But I know they just did a round of fundraising. I mean, this has been a fascinating story to me since I was talking to GA about it, especially after I found out it was in Austin, that they are hiring like crazy because they've got a platform that has, when you've got 90% 5-star reviews from hundreds of people.
Yeah, you figured out the secret
You have
sauce.
figured out something. And so just keep ramming training courses through there. And, dude, I like it.
Maybe we should take a note on our training courses for our stuff.
I think we should. I mean, I've wondered about signing up for some of these courses to, learn some things, of course, but also just see how they're doing it, because we just need to, really anything we're producing for our agents to learn, we want to give them something that's worth watching.
Absolutely.
And listening to.
And encouraging and make it stick.
Yes. Not funny. We're not funny. You're not funny.
I'm definitely not. I own it. It's okay.
It's not true. Bart's actually
you're funny.
Let's it's okay. You don't have to pat me on the head.
I'll remember this conversation because you're funny, Bart.
Yes.
But you do retain knowledge a lot better when you're enjoying it.
For sure.
I think a lot of people realize that, understand that. Also, too, what I was going to say is that, I don't know, I just lost my train of thought because Bart's so funny.
We're just going to camp out here for a while, aren't we?
You know what? So you are a GA, you are working on your real estate license. Why don't you talk to us about how you're preparing your wife for this risk? I mean, for a lot of families, it's varying levels, but you are talking about adding work time to your already currently busy schedule in an effort to move something forward. How have those conversations gone?
Well, because my wife has a lot of grace for me.
Okay.
That's why she married me in the first place. She's very forgiving. No,
gotcha.
She puts up with a lot, but no, she has, like myself, she has not been happy for a while in terms of the workload. And it's a career industry thing in general. Our industry is changing a lot. And people are just, there's just this hum-ha in the industry about everybody's working a lot more and this and that. And regardless of what industry you come from, it's the same conversation with your spouse. It's very important that they understand they're going to have to give maybe a little extra so that obviously you can move that needle forward in terms of maybe working for yourself one day and having the flexibility down the road. So it's a short-term, pain for long-term gain thing. And so they're going well because she does understand there's a means to an end, but that also motivates me to be serious about it and get through the coursework. Obviously, once I do that and I am spending those extra hours away from the family, it makes every minute that you're going to have to be away from your family that much more efficient, important, and you just prioritize that, because it's so important for you to be around.
I could not have said it better. I mean, go Bart.
I got nothing. That's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it is, folks. I mean, if you are thinking you're going to surprise your spouse with, I've started a real estate career, I really want you to call me after you drop that on them. I quit my job today. I got my license last week, and you knew nothing about it. Not the way to go about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of fallacy in that entire lineup.
There is.
They should call you before, actually, because then maybe their marriage is still intact.
Okay, that's
when you
fair.
get hold of them.
Call me the day before. You can sleep on the couch the day after, but it's so she's actually supportive.
She's supportive, and the cool thing, and if I can go and bring this up, is that she's so interested in the industry. She's been talking about going back to, she was a teacher before, so either going back to teaching or doing something. Now she wants to go into real estate.
Okay.
And the flexibility of Aceable that she has seen, in terms of what I can do, and just very part-time in terms of the education, knowing that she has a little bit more flexibility and time in her schedule to do some of that, she's excited about the fact that it won't take that long. And she doesn't have to go to a classroom. She can still run and pick the kids up and do these things while doing her coursework, getting her education. So it's phenomenal.
So she's giving you a head start. Is there about to be a race in your house?
Well, she will win it, I think, at this point, because again,
has she started?
No, she has not started.
Okay, all right.
But
she's
she
still gonna win.
She could start in 2 months and still win, I think.
You're speaking
rolling her head around and kind of.
Yeah, you're speaking my language now. The only reason I graduated from college is because my wife did first. It took me like an extra year.
Yeah, I mean, Meredith definitely kept me in the library. Like, why don't you just do all your studying at the library, and then we can actually go out in the evening? That sounds like a good idea. So, okay.
Yeah.
Why are they so smart?
but still married us. I don't know. There's a lot.
Well,
there's a load of-
There's some duality to that word right there.
It's because they
Why are
always.
they so smart? Well,
It's because they marry the fun guy, not the smart guy. The fun guy.
Yes. They're not smart. They're not smart in all areas. Let's just.
So funny.
We complement each other. How about that?
there you go.
There you go.
That's the point.
Opposites attract.
Hey, some business conversation here on,
Okay.
so failure rates, like people trying to do what you're doing. I mean, it's not like a big secret that a lot of agents come in and out of the business, and planning while you're going through these courses, knowing what you do at your current position in the corporate. You're gonna have to go create all this culture and these. You're gonna do it naturally, of course, initially, but there's some things that may not transfer directly into real estate that you're gonna have to create on your own because it's your business. I don't know that Aceable, would speak to this, but I mean that's something that obviously you've got to be kind of planning for agents that are out there. I mean, some people go in cold turkey, and the people that don't plan, that's why things go awry. They think that you're going to go to a brokerage, they're going to teach you everything you need to know to run your own business, and that just isn't the case. So, is there anything that's kind of been in your mind, or you and your wife have talked about as far as how that transition is going to go? And
So I've already been meeting with some brokers and interviewing them, so to speak, and what they have available to train new agents and or get some sales under a new agent's belt, and they're varying, I would say. So yeah, absolutely. You need to do your research, and the more comfortable you're with it, your decision, the easier that conversation is with your spouse. Even if you've already kind of broken the news, like, hey, I'd like to do this. You need to do that. So, I mean, in terms of research, is that?
Yeah, I mean, research on brokerages, of course, and even from a financial standpoint, and we don't have to go into too much detail, but I mean, you've got to have some base.
Save.
There you go.
There you go. Save. Sorry,
You're good. Safe. Yeah.
Didn't track your question too well. But
well,
yeah,
Aaron.
Again,
Aaron
I'm not very smart.
Aaron can be a big part of this. He kind of just said, drop the mic, I'm quitting, and here we go, and we're going to make it work. So
That's what we did. And now, I mean, I had a conversation with Meredith about it before, and so she was
on
ultra,
board.
and she was ultra supportive. But it was, looking back, truly, my only regret for real estate is not getting in earlier. I have loved it.
Well, and so here's the thing. I'm pointing out the obvious is that I think GA probably is cut from the same cloth as you as far as this transition. I mean, he's doing things that he naturally has done but not everybody's like that. A lot of people that don't have that kind of communication with their spouse, if they're married, somebody that doesn't save or plan, and then they still go and do all these things, I mean, the risk is extremely high. And so that's kind of what I was speaking to, is like, what information could we share with that agent maybe that's not committed? I mean, you guys were committed. I guess that's what I'm getting to.
And I haven't thought about this in a while, but because we haven't talked about it on a single show that we've done, but we've talked about actually making ourselves available for like a 15-minute call, just with anybody thinking about getting into real estate to have, and we will have an honest conversation. I mean, it may not be fun, but we will really dig in quickly to ask you, what have you thought about? Because watching Property Brothers and then signing up for Aceable is a bad idea.
It's not going to work.
It's
not going to work.
Well,
so we want to have
putting your job before watching Property Brothers and signing up for Aceable is a bad idea.
Well, but I want to point out,
it's a great show. It's not how you can do your business out of the gate.
Right.
Those guys worked hard before they had a TV show.
But I know how to pick colors. Okay.
No, you don't.
No, I
honestly.
don't. But here's the point. If I can try and circle back to it eventually. Distraction. What did you say? No, I'm kidding. The difference in what you would get on those kind of consultations from us as opposed to a brokerage, which is what GA's been assisted or talking to and getting feedback from, which has to happen.
Yeah.
Getting independent advice from somebody that doesn't have a vested interest and trying to be that broker for you is what you want. And that's kind of what we're offering. Is like, it's not going to be you asking us questions necessarily. It's going to be us telling you the questions you should ask. And if somebody's not in your world that's doing that, you don't know all the things you should even ask. You don't even know the business yet.
Nope. You do not know what you do not know. If you are about to start a career in real estate, you need to write that down on the front of your study journal, because it is going to come at you so fast and hard. I mean, my mentor told me, he said 6 months in, you're going to be a totally different agent because you're going to know so much more, but you'll you'll realize how little you still know.
Yeah. Whoa. Don't hurt yourself.
Thank you. My brain's broken.
Also,
I still don't know that.
You'll also realize that you went out and made these big family decisions and all these business, and you're like, I didn't realize how ill-informed I was. Like, I didn't even ask the right questions to even make that decision. And that's kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah, we want to help you avoid that. So we'll definitely provide. I mean, you can reach out in the comments and find our phone numbers, but Bart and I definitely want to do that for all of you, because we want you to succeed. And sometimes succeeding is avoiding failure and not going down a bad path.
Sure.
We want to help you be on a good path.
Amen.
All right. Do you have any final?
Well, first, thanks, GA, for being here. I mean,
Thank you guys for having me.
this is good information. I'd heard of Aceable. I really didn't know what it was all about, so that is great information. And I think, gosh, I mean, any other motivational stuff, Aaron?
Oh yeah, we always have motivational stuff here. Here we go. This is perfect for a beginning agent. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop.
I feel encouraged by that.
That sounds like GA.
Thank you. Yes, I needed that.
Just keep opening that app.
Thanks, buddy.
And GA will be back in future episodes. We're going to keep him up to date with his progress.
Yeah, maybe we can get his wife in here if she's going to do it too. Sounds like we should probably be talking to her anyway, not you.
She's a lot smarter than me.
Duly noted.
She will look better on camera.
That is why we do not have you on camera today.
That's right.
Generic
It's horrifying.
Exactly right.
All right.
On that note,
So bad.
I'm supposed to be encouraging. I know. Yeah, it's been incredible. Thank you for coming today. And I know you got to get out of here back to your family. Bart, good to see you.
Thank y'all for having me.
We're out.